Okay. Now, can you tell me who this character is? Can you see the screen?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Wait. Now, can you see?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, who's the character on your right? Any idea?
Ma'am, Bablu.
It's from a very, very famous book. Okay. Any idea? This is Greg from the Diary of the Wimpy Kid. And who is this? From the Diary of the Wimpy Kid. Yes, it is.
Mowgli.
Children, please don't unmute yourself, otherwise it will be, it will be too much of noise. And who is this? Write down quickly. Yes, Geronimo Stilton. And who is this? This is
Rapunzel.
Rapunzel. And this.
Rapunzel. Harry Potter.
Unmute yourself.
Harry Potter.
Please don't unmute yourself. Yes, this is Harry Potter. And this is Nemo. And this, again from Jungle Book. This is Sher Khan. Okay. So let's see now. How does reading give you the power of creativity? How can you become more creative and imaginative by reading? Now, I'll give you one example. There was a writer called Jules Verne. He was a French writer, novelist, poet, and playwright. His most famous novels are Journey to the Center of the Earth, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, and Around the World in 80 Days. And he wrote all these in 1800s. He's the second most translated author in the world. Jules Verne wrote about many inventions which were not even invented during his time, and they became reality many years later. So somebody must have read those books and then imagined, yes, this is possible, and invented.
See, ma'am.
Hardik, we can have a discussion later. Okay, beta?
Ma'am, I have just joined now. What were you discussing?
I've already discussed, so you can, continue for the remaining part. And now this, he's noted for writing about space, air, and underwater travel before air travel and submarines were actually invented, and before practical means of space travel had been devised. So you can imagine somebody must have read these books, and they got an idea that if Jules Verne can imagine, we can create it. So imagination led to creativity. Similarly, we only knew about dinosaurs through the remains of dinosaurs till Michael Crichton wrote the book Jurassic Park. And then we know how dinosaurs would have lived thousands and thousands of years back. We had no idea about it. So it helped us create, movies were made on it because of this book. So books help in improving your creativity and imagination. I want all of you to draw, and you can show me the photo on the screen. Okay. You have to draw a superhero who's bald, who's fat, who wears white briefs and a red cape, and he frequently trumpets tra la 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 la. That is call. That is his call. Can you make that?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, can I bring my file, art file? Ma'am, we have to draw it now.
Yes. And you get only 2 minutes. You have to draw a fat man who has superpowers, who wears white briefs, and who wears a red cape. And you have to show me the drawing. Quickly. You all have to draw. I'll ask any one of you to show your drawing. I'll ask anyone, show your drawing. There is one Nitika also. I can ask her also to show. So any one of you, even teachers, I can ask you also to show the drawing. Okay, so all of you have to draw. I'll be counting till 20. You have to quickly draw. You can draw a stick figure also. 1, 2, 3, 5,
I request everybody to please stay on mute. It's creating disturbance.
8,
Only mute yourself, because only mute yourself.
Connie Gupta, please mute your mic.
Ma'am, done.
Can you show me your drawing? I'm muting everyone. Now just show me your drawing. Bring it closer to the screen. Okay. Anyone else? Any more person? Just show me the drawing that you have made. Ankush, can
Yes,
you
ma'am.
rotate it?
And this is it.
Ankush,
Ma'am, please see, I have showing.
yes, very good. Very good. Very good.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, also, I can't see everybody's faces, children. I've asked you to draw.
Ma'am, please see the drawing of Ankush.
Ma'am.
Just show me, switch on your camera and show the drawing to me.
My camera is on.
Yeah. Now, children, since most of you have drawn,
Ma'am, Krishna has also made.
Rupa, I can see your drawing good. So, you know what happens when you read a book, you start imagining what he would look like. And some of you have drawn so well. And all of you have drawn different. So what happens is that when you are reading, you are imagining different people. And you know what this writer imagined him to be? He imagined him to be like this. Captain Ahmed, a bald man with a, and
Ma'am, I have read this comic.
yes, very good. You all have drawn a different drawing, no, of the superhero. So this is what I'm saying, that
Mm.
when you are reading, you have a different picture in your mind than your friend. If all of you look at others' pictures, you'll see all of you have drawn
Hello. Mm.
you'll always feel my drawing is better than the other person's. The reason is because you all imagine different things. And this is what books do. They help you imagine, they help you create. All right?
Mm.
Now, I'll go on. Again, children, please don't unmute yourself. Ma'am, it's a request if you can tell the children to keep themselves on mute.
Unless until ma'am asks you, no one to
Unmuting
unmute.
themselves. Okay. So this is what he looks like. Okay. Now we come to the power of words. How do books give you the superpower of words, of vocabulary? Okay, why do your teachers keep saying read books, read books, read books? And you must have seen children, that children in your class who read a lot know a lot of words. So I'll tell you why it's important to read. If you read only for 20 minutes each day, only for 20 minutes, can you even guess what will happen? If you read 1 minute per day, in a year you must have read 800 words. You'll if you read for 5 minutes, you will have read 2,82,000 words in a year. And if you read for 20 minutes per day, you will have read 18 lakh words in a year. And this, obviously, if you know so much, what will happen? You will learn a lot.
कैसे कुछ भी ना मतलब उसके हाथ
Okay, so that is why reading is so important, children. Now, can you tell me what they mean? Okay, this is a quiz for you. Okay, I have lots of quizzes for you. So here's a quiz. You have to write in the chat box, and one of the teachers, if you can just read, tell me who's given the correct answer. Now, these are some idioms which are very commonly used, but only a child who's a reader will be able to tell me what does this mean?
Ma'am, can I tell Hardik?
Hardik need not unmute. Write the answer in the chat box.
Yeah, write the answer in the chat box, Hardik. Ma'am, did anybody write?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
And they are
ma'am, they have
writing storm
written
in a teacup.
a storm in a teacup.
Very good. It is storm in a teacup. And what does this mean? It means making, a small thing into a big deal. And what is this? Can you tell me what this means? Again, this is a phrase or an idiom that we use very often.
Children, you can write in the chat box. Ma'am, children are writing running after time.
Actually, this is race against time. And do you know how you can use it? Can you make a sentence? When are you racing against time? When you're trying to finish your examination paper. The teacher says only 5 minutes left and you have 4 questions to do. So it will be a race against time. Okay? And all those who answered have read it somewhere. Okay? Now, can you tell me what this means? What does this? Anybody has answered, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am, playing with fire.
Very good. It is playing with fire. Now, can you tell me what could this mean? Can you use it in a sentence?
Children, frame the sentence and write in the chat box.
So playing with fire actually means doing something dangerous. Playing with fire. And anybody who understands or has read this phrase, playing with fire, they must have read it in a book. Now, what is this?
This is, they're saying window shopping.
Very good. And what does window shopping mean? To just see things and not buy them, right? And anybody who knows what window shopping is, most
No,
of
I know.
you have read it in a book, right? Okay. Now I'm showing you some more words. And where have they come from? From books. And anybody who can use all of them is definitely a person who is a reader. So I'll just read out. A bitter pill means a situation or information that is unpleasant. Okay, actions speak louder than words. That means your intention is judged better by what you're doing instead of what you're saying. A dime or a dozen means very common. Barking up the wrong tree means looking at the wrong place. All ears means listening carefully. Adding insult to injury means to making something more worse. Beating around the bush is avoiding the main issue. Bed of roses is something which is very comfortable. Best of both worlds is to get advantages of two things at a time. Don't judge a book by its cover means don't judge something by its appearance. Call it a day means declare the end of a task. Couch potato means a lazy person. Cat nap means a small, light sleep. Bite of more than you can chew is take on a task which is big for you. Cry over spilt milk means to complain about something that has happened in the past. Okay, so all these are, anybody who reads will be able to understand. You don't even have to be told the meaning. If you're reading a particular phrase 2 or 3 times, you'll automatically understand, oh, this means this. So reading improves your vocabulary. It improves your, you get to know lots of phrases, lots of different expressions. And that is how reading helps. Do you know that Shakespeare is, one of those writers who has given the most to English language? Almost 50% of all the phrases that we use today have been coined by Shakespeare. For example, all that glitters isn't gold. Have you heard of that? Refuse to budge an inch. Dead
Ma'am, I
as
heard it.
tail. Catch a cold. Love is blind. Heart of gold. Good riddance. The jokes. Knock, knock. Who's there? I haven't slept a wink. Now, all these are phrases which were coined by Shakespeare. So, a person like me who reads a lot is familiar with all this. Why? Because I have read Shakespeare. So, I know what would be the meaning. And anybody who reads a lot would understand a lot from all this. And that is why reading is so important. Now, a small exercise for you. In the chat box, I'll show you a word right now. This word is one of the most used words in English. Okay, it is one of the most used words. Can you give me a word that can be substituted? Request.
Hardik, mute yourself.
Else.
Everyone.
So just in the chat box, if you can write a word which
Right.
you have to give me an alternate word for said. Instead of said, okay, one of you written told, that's very easy. Can you think of other words? I'll tell you there are more than 100 words which can be used instead of said. Okay, murmured, conveyed, good, mentioned, okay, asked, okay, utter, good, commented, conveyed, expressed, chattered. See, and when a teacher asks you to write an essay, you read he said, she said, I said, those they said. Think of other words also. And a child who's reading a lot will automatically be able to use all these words. Okay? So here we are. Can you see how many words are there that can be substituted for the word said? Okay? And who is familiar with all these words? Any person who reads a lot. Now, how can books give the power of knowledge? If you see, you can get, you can get to know power of knowledge from many types of books. For example, books about, there are cookbooks, there are, some of you like to read biographies, some of you would like to read histories, somebody likes to read lists, somebody wants to read factual books. So all these information you can get from books. And not just that, sometimes the facts can it's very difficult, children, to do the session if you all are continuously talking. Okay, so a request once again, don't mute yourself. Only the teachers can unmute themselves if they're saying something or if I ask you to unmute. Okay. So sometimes, even things like, for example, there's this book called Ahimsa that is based on the freedom struggle. Then there are books like The Magic School Bus. So these books, suppose you don't like science a lot. What you can do is want to know more about, let's say, the senses. Read about The Magic School Bus explores the senses. So you will not only be increasing your knowledge, but you will also be reading it in a storybook form. So books increase your knowledge. They give you so much of information. Okay. And obviously, any child who has lot of information will be able to write also well. And what happens is, if you know a lot, you will score not only good marks in English, but in all subjects. So you can read about, and if you don't like big novels, you can read comic books. For example, if you're reading in grade 7, you read about Chandragupta Maurya. So you can read a comic book, Amachitra Katha, or stories of Birbal when you're in grade 8 and you're reading about Akbar and Birbal. Grade 7 and 8 have Mughal Empire and Mauryan Empire. So you can read about Akbar and you can read about Chandragupta Maurya through comics also. Even they give you a lot of information. So storybooks are very, very important. So the next thing is the power of empathy. Can you tell me what you understand by the word empathy? Who's going to tell me what is empathy and why is it so important? Ma'am, can you ask a child to unmute and that child will only unmute and speak? Can that be done?
I can
Yes.
try. ma'am.
Yeah. Okay.
Dipali
Okay,
ma'am, are
ma'am.
you doing it?
No, ma'am. You can proceed.
Oh, all right, all right.
Rishmi Sinha has raised her hand.
All right. Can Vanishri, Venshri, will you tell bache the
Yes,
meaning
ma'am.
of empathy? Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Empathy means to understand other feelings.
All right. Okay.
It's
Meenu,
important that
Meenu
somebody
Jindal.
answer. Why do you think it's so important to have empathy?
Shall I answer?
Sure, beta.
It is important to feel empathy, as if we have empathy, we can understand the person's situation more effectively.
And how do books help you in, and people who are empathetic, you children, you are in school, so what happens sometimes you're sad, and who is your best friend? The person who comes and hugs you and says, why are you sad? So you feel, even if you're sad, you feel better. There's somebody to understand you. There's somebody who feels for you. So empathy is very important, because we all are going through tough times. And how do you think the books help you in becoming a better person, an empathetic person? Can somebody answer this? How do books help you becoming an empathetic person? Ma'am, can uh, ask any child to unmute? Anybody who's raising their
Yes,
hand?
ma'am. I will just do that. All those who have raised their hand. All right. Anuj, child, if you can answer.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, in the books, there are many stories from which we can learn that how people are suffering. Ma'am, like in the old days, ma'am, there was no advancement. So, ma'am, we can understand that what were the problems. So, ma'am, by that only we can understand the problems of people.
Very good. That is the answer I was looking for. Now, I read because I'm into children's books. Scholastic is children's book. So I try to read, at least one book a day, which is meant for children. And recently I read this book called Refugee, which is talking about the life of three refugee children. And then I realized, that we keep seeing a war in Syria, and we keep hearing about what happened during Nazis. But when you read the actual story, then you understand what kind of life that child must have had, and you feel empathetic. For example, many of you have maids coming at home. Do you know what the kind of life that child must be leading? No. But if you read a book about a child, who's living in a slum, then you realize the kind of tough life that child must be leading, and you become more empathetic towards any person who is coming from that background. So books give you that power of empathy, because when you're reading, you get into the world of that person. You're transported into the world. For example, if you're reading about a child who's in America, you go there, you are living the child's life, and you're realizing how sad the child must be, or how happy the child must be. So books give you the power of empathy. Empathy means living the emotion of another person. So there are a lot of books which teach you the power of empathy, and those books are all around you. Any book that you pick up will give you that power. Now, a small activity. You all have to read this poem and draw a emoji of how this made you feel.
Ma'am, done reading.
Okay, now you draw an emoji.
Ma'am, can we share it in the chat?
You can share it in the chat. So that is why the activities are very, very simple. I just want you to understand that how, you read the poem, how did it make you feel? You can just write down an emoji. Okay, Lohitaksh has drawn an emoji of a sad face. Good. So it made you feel sad. Can you tell me, Lohitash, why did it make you, okay, sorry, you've written a happy face. Ritesh, can you tell me why you have drawn a sad face? Ritesh, beta unmute yourself and put your video on and tell me why it made you feel sad.
Ma'am, it's not sad. It's not also happy. It's middle. Not sad, not happy.
Okay. Suhani, can you tell me why you've drawn a sad face? Srishti Manna, can you tell me why you've drawn a sad face?
Children, you can unmute and answer. Bache, ma'am is putting across a question to you all. She's taking your names.
Srishti, can you tell me why you've drawn a sad face, Vita?
Ma'am, there's a child named Twishi. She wants to answer. She's also drawn a sad face.
Can you answer, Vita?
Ma'am, I have made a happy face.
Okay, did you read the poem and understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Arna has given the correct answer. Arna, you've given the answer that I was looking for. I have drawn a sad face because this poem is quite depressing about losing a friend. Okay, so those of you who are readers would have read and understood that this is a sad poem and makes you feel sad because it's about losing a friend, a dog that has been your pet. I'm going to read out that poem. I didn't purposely read out because I wanted you to read and understand. And the sad faces were drawn only by those children who are readers because they read and understood and could connect to the emotion. There's something missing in my home. I feel it day and night. I know it will take time and strength before things feel quite right. But just for now, I need to mourn. My heart, it needs to mend. Though some may say it's just a pet, I know I've lost a friend. You brought such laughter to my home and richness to my days, a constant friend through joys or loss with gentle, loving ways. Companion, pal, and confidant, a friend I won't forget. You live for always in my heart, my sweet forever pet. So this is a very sad poem about losing a pet. And only those children who could read and understand have made the sad face because they could see the emotion in it. So, reading can make you feel empathetic because when you're reading, you're connecting to the person in that poem or story. And when you're connecting to that poem, see, I'll give you one example. There are so many friends in your class, so many children. But with your best friend, what happens is because you know about your best friend, When that friend is sad, you also start feeling sad. And when you come home, your parents ask, what happened? You say, today my friend was sad. But there may be other children also in the class. But because you're connected to your friend, you can understand the emotion. And the same thing goes with books. Books are like, they take you to make another friend, a very close friend. And then you can feel the emotion. Okay, we'll go on now. Some of you are writing. I'll check on that later. Books give you the power to travel. So where you can go in history, you can go in the future, you can go to one country or another country, you can go to space, you can go anywhere you want to. See, in my life, I will not be able to travel into all the countries and all the cities and all the villages and all the towns in the world. But if I read books about those places, yes, I can travel. So books give you the power of traveling. They are like a magic carpet. So you can read about history, you can read about futuristic things. You can read about so many things that take you out of this world and inside the world, in the past, in the future, anywhere. So books make you travel. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. When I was small, I was in grade 4 or 5. I was a very shy person. I never liked to speak to anybody. So when teacher used to ask me to read, I used to hide myself because I never liked to speak. I was very, very shy. And at home also, I didn't like to talk to many people. I just wanted to read. So, I used to climb, wherever in one room, they used to keep all the quilts, one on top of the other. So I used to just go there and read for hours. And my mother, after during lunchtime, she used to say, where were you? And I used to say, I traveled to Argentina today. So this is what books do. They make you travel. And then books help you in communication. What is communication? The ability to speak well, the ability to listen and understand, and the ability to write. So books give you the power of communication. Children, you must have seen that people who read well are able to write well also in your own class. Have you seen any child who really reads well will be also getting good marks in writing? And that person can speak better. Now, including me, none of us speak English at home. Okay, we speak in our own mother tongue, in Punjabi, in Hindi, in Marathi, in Gujarati, but we hardly ever speak in English. So, what happens is that we are not communicating, so we don't know too much of it. But when you are reading, what happens? You're exposed to words. And when you're exposed to words and language, it helps in communication also. So here's one activity for you. You have to read this and complete the last blurb. Okay, I'll just tell you through annotation. So this is a cartoon, a very easy one. You have to write down what this cat is saying. Okay, after reading this cartoon, you have to write down in the chat box. So when you're reading, you're able to write also. Okay. Well, she has written, yes, I'm happy that they got free. Yes, I know. Okay. The governor was very kind. Oh, isn't that cute? Oh, I'm happy. No, it's a bit. Wish they don't catch us. Abhika has written, I'm very happy Angel has written, I'm very happy they got free. Yes, good to know. So what happens is, when you're reading a book, it helps you understand what would happen next. The power of prediction, the power of writing, the power of communicating.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes. So this helps a lot in your communication skills.
Ma'am, I want to ask that what happened next.
You'll have to read the book. Now, many times, if you want to read a book and you're not very sure, you can watch a movie also. There are a lot of movies which have been made from very, very famous books, like Bridge to Terabithia, Charlotte's Web, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, James and the Giant Peach, Jungle Book you must have watched, Narnia, there are 3 parts to them, Matilda, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So what you can do is actually read the book and then see the movie and then read the book.
Ma'am, I love Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Better don't unmute yourself. Okay.
Child, please don't unmute.
Now let me share some ideas about how you can make your reading books more fun.
Mummy, darwaja.
I'll just unmute first, everyone. Now, how you can make reading more fun is what I'll just tell you. Okay. So when you want to read, so read in a comfy spot. You can read aloud to an adult. You can read a story that you wrote yourself. You can read to a stuffed animal or your own pet. Read a book by your favorite author. Read in a flashlight. Write a review of a book that you've read. Retell the story. Read in a pillow fort. You can make a fort for yourself or a tent for yourself and then read. You can tell an adult 3 facts that you read in a book. So there's a lot of things that you can do with a book and how you can make it fun. And the most important thing that I want to tell you about reading is children who read are more successful. So if you want to become successful, score very good marks in studies, what you have to do is have fun by reading. Okay. Now I'm going to play a small video for you.
Looking at a book, start with the cover, a magical world. Go read and discover the power to read. Yeah, the power to read. Reading is power, that's for sure. Going on adventures, that's what books are for. The power to read. Yeah, the power to read. Come read with me, super you, 'cause I've got the power and so do you.
Okay. So before I end, I think ma'am would like to say something. Ma'am, can I make you the host?
Ma'am, if you can please make Dipali ma'am the host.
I'll do that.
Yes. And ma'am, if children have any queries, can they just put across?
Ma'am, now recording can be stopped.
I'll do that. Okay, first let me ask the children if they have any query. Till the time I'm making you the host.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No query.
No, ma'am.
Students, don't unmute yourself. You can just wait.
In case you have any query, you can ask. So it's Dipali Vashisht, ma'am, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry. Okay, children. So over to Dipali, ma'am. It was
Thank you,
really
ma'am.
nice being with all of you. I really enjoyed. And now, Dipali, ma'am, you're the host.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for sparing your valuable time and enriching us all from your reservoir of knowledge and experiences. And I'm very sure that each of one present here is going to make books as their best friend. Thank you once again, Neetika ma'am.
You're welcome, ma'am. It was my pleasure.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, child, who wants to speak?
Ma'am, Sia.
Yes, Pache.
Ma'am, I want to ask that how can we read books on internet?
Neetika ma'am.
Hello.
Neetika ma'am, would you like to take on the query? The child is asking, how can we read books on the internet?
I think, the kind of person I am, unless I'm holding a book, I can't read. So you'll get all the time in the world to read books on the internet. But right now, what I suggest is pick up a physical book and read. There's nothing like a book when you're holding it in your hands.
Absolutely. And more so at a time when everything has gone digital and we are just glued to the screen. So maybe some rest for the eyes also if we physically hold the book in the hand and, go on reading. Very true, ma'am. I hope, child, you've got your answer.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Anyone else needs to put across any query or has any doubt, ma'am is with us. I think, ma'am, there's no one else. And it was so enriching that the children are all clear with the concept. And I think as a teacher also, as an educator also, even I've benefited a lot. We keep on reading the course books, but hardly do we take out time for other things. So I think, yes, we need to do it more often. As children, we were better. As adults, I think we are forgetting the habit. So definitely, ma'am, it's going to help each one of us. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, ma'am.
All of us are aware that 19th June is observed as the National Reading Day in our country. And to celebrate it, various events were organized by Bhavan Vidyalaya Panchkula in the past couple of days, in which Bhavan schools from all across the country participated. One such competition in the middle school category was the caricature making, which was held on 18th of June. An extract was given to students to read, on the basis of which they had to make a caricature. The event was judged by a panel of eminent judges comprising of Mrs. Raman Miglani, who is a Master's in Fine Arts from Punjab University, Chandigarh, and Mr. Sarjan Bernard, who is an experienced animation professional. So as I declare the result, so all of you, fingers crossed. Okay. So the third position is shared by 3 children. Tisya Sindhu, from Bhavan Vidya Mandir, Girinagar. Anvi from Bhavan Vidyalaya, Panchkula. And Radhika Bishnoi, again from Bhavan Vidyalaya, Panchkula. Heartiest congratulations to you all. Now, since Bhavan Vidyalaya Panchkula was the organizer of the event, so we will not be taking the prizes. So the third prize goes to Tisya Sindhu. The second position is bagged by Parvati Beju of Bhavan's Varuna Vidyalay, Thirikara. And the first position, we have Medha from Bhavan Vidyalay, Chandigarh. Heartiest congratulations to all the winners. And without unmuting, I think all of us can give them all a big round of applause. With this, we come to the end of today's session, leaving you all with some food for thought. As said by Mark Twain, the man who does not read good books is no better than a man who cannot. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day ahead.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, can we leave meeting?
Yes, child, you can. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Thank you, children. You don't need to unmute, bache. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye, ma'am. Have a nice Thank you, ma'am. Bye.
Can I end the meeting?
Ma'am, they are still,